Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 78 of the Whitey and Will's Sports Show. Still, as far as we know, the only YouTube channel devoted to Effingham area sports and the athletes who play them. As far as I know, we still are.
I checked. We still are.
We are back here on Tuesday, August 8th, after about a 2-month hiatus. I think we haven't done a show in a little while. It's been summer. There hadn't been a lot of high school and college sports going on, but that's about ready to pick up. And in fact, the golf teams are practicing in high school now. Mike Wilson can attest to that. And Mike likes to talk a little golf. And so we are going to have a golf-centric episode. We're going to have a Ludwig-centric episode. We have got 3 of the 4 Ludwig siblings. Is that correct? 3 of 4? And one returning guest. I'm going to introduce you one at a time, and we'll do ladies first. Macy Ludwig, back on the show, actually. We had her on episode 30, so it's been a while. It's been about a year, but Macy, she is she's getting ready to have, is it your junior season that you're getting ready for at Illinois Wesleyan?
Yep.
So that's Macy. We've got Luke Ludwig. He is getting ready for his senior year at Southern Illinois Edwardsville on the golf team there. And I've got a 6-year-old in the background. Ignore him. And of course, Lane Ludwig, a senior at St. Anthony High School. You two are also St. Anthony High School graduates, but Lane, you're part of that state championship golf team at St. Anthony last year. Second boys state champion team member in the family. So everybody, thanks for joining us. Mike Wilson loves to talk about golf, and so I'm going to probably mostly step back and let him ask the questions, but I'm sure I will feel inspired at some point.
I have to congratulate Lane. He was an A-flight champion at the country club this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Lane, welcome to the club. I also am a former A-flight champion at the club. I think my statue has been removed since I won it, but I have the trophy. I was going to actually bring my trophy upstairs out of the basement to actually show you it was legit. So, but yes, so congratulations. That's a 2-day fun tournament. Now, what tees did you guys play?
We played the Blues.
Okay. I can't play the Blues anymore, so I wouldn't even have been in your flight. So congratulations.
Thanks.
Macy was runner-up in the women's club championship. And kind of congratulations, Macy, but I know why, wedding in the middle of the tournament kind of threw things off. I understand. When you get to be about 30, it's not a factor anymore. But I understand. Luke didn't play in the club championship. He was in the wedding. He had too many things going on.
Yeah, a lot going on there. So,
Luke, we're going to start with you. A couple questions. And I know that your senior year at Edwardsville, but isn't it your 5th year?
Yeah, going into my 5th year.
So you got that
COVID year,
the bonus COVID year. I mean, you'd give that up to not go through that, I'm sure. You guys had a pretty good season last year, didn't you?
We did. Yeah, we got second in our conference to a really, really, really good team. It's kind of random. Little Rock just joined the OVC last year, and they're like a top 50 team, which is crazy because we're like a top 150 team.
Right.
So relative to that, we got second. We got second by a pretty good margin. So this year we got a big test to come up to try to beat Little Rock in the conference championship to hopefully get the regionals next year, but we'll see.
So you had faced them. Had you run into them in another tournament before you guys got to the conference?
No, they play
really?
they play like crazy tournaments, like with like Arizona State and like Stanford and like Illinois, like those type of tournaments. They don't play like tournaments that we play.
So when you ran into them, does that little intimidation factor?
I mean, yes and no. Like, yeah, that they're like really good, but you also know how good you are, and that if you put, it's like the basketball tournament, the NCAA basketball tournament, March Madness. It's like if you put one good round together, like you can beat them. You just need three out of the 5 guys to beat them. So
all you got to do is hang around them, maybe not playing their best, And sometimes teams like that get a little sphincteritis.
Yeah, I
I know
technically
that's
I technically didn't finish my match, and I was through 17. I was one down going into 18. So, but by that point, the match was already over. Three of my teammates have already lost. So,
so it's stroke play to a point, then it becomes match play, or is it just
yeah. So the first three rounds are stroke play, and then the top four teams go into match play. So
okay,
1-4 plays each other, 2-3 plays each other.
so you beat three, or you won the semi and got to the finals? All right,
Yeah.
match play, stroke play. What do you like better?
I tend to play. I have a pretty good record in match play, but just because my tendency is to make some bogeys, but I can also um, I'll make some big numbers here and there, but also like par people to death, and then I'll make a few
Right.
birdies in there. So I've had a pretty good track record in match play.
See, and I agree. I love match play because I used to be able to get up and down from anywhere to say par, and it'd drive people nuts because they're like, hey, I got a 6-footer for birdie, and you're over there in the corner of the trees, and then I'd knock it to 2 feet and get my par, and they'd miss their birdie putt. So that's why I love match play because you can really bother people mentally by just hanging around.
Yep, that's what I do.
Okay, Mace, you guys had a pretty good season. You guys just missed going to, or you did go to nationals, didn't you?
Yep. Hmm.
And how was that experience again? Because you've been there before.
No, it was my
Oh, you
first
guys
time.
hadn't made it before?
No, we didn't go my freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nationals, NCAA, they kind of roll out the red carpet for you
Oh,
guys a
yeah.
little bit at that tournament. It's pretty neat.
It's really nice. Yeah. Everything's super nice, organized. Yeah.
Any swag? Do they throw any swag your way?
I don't know.
You know, I know Lane got swag. I heard about his summer swag. He got a haul. So you
Yeah.
don't know if they got to give you something.
I mean, they don't really give you a whole lot, but I mean, like they have the names on the range.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, when Morgan went to nationals and junior college, I thought they would be some stuff like that with the kids. And like you said, here's your name on the driving range, and go play in Daytona, 120-degree heat. So this year, junior year, what do you think? If you teed it up right now today, what number player you think you're going to be?
I'll probably still be number 3 because I've been
Okay,
the whole time. So
right. I mean, you guys have a pretty quality team. I follow you guys on the college golf stat. I watch you guys on there. An old habit I just can't get rid of. I follow all of our area kids. Look at Luke's scores. Look at your scores. Look at other people's scores. It's really neat to see. When you guys perform well in tournaments. It really is.
Mhm.
You guys home course still Ironwood?
Yeah.
Luke, where do you guys play for a home course?
So we play at Gateway National and Sunset Hills Country Club, which
Okay.
is yeah. Sunset Hills is
What?
in Edwardsville, right next to campus.
Okay. Gateway National. How do you like that? Is that as good as everyone says it is?
It's the best public course in the St. Louis area. It's a tough course, but if you if you hit it in play, it's pretty easy.
Okay. All right. Mr. Lane, defending state champ, played down in Texas. I heard it was a little chilly down there.
Definitely.
I saw pictures of Steve Willenberg. I thought, I was going to have to text someone to resuscitate him. He looked really bad.
Yeah, there was a couple sicknesses throughout the days, but you just gotta keep drinking water.
So you guys, what was it, about 110? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, some day I think a couple days it was 110, but it was right around 100 usually.
And you guys as a team probably got your eyes open a little bit down there, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a tough course.
Courses were tough, I heard, and some pretty good players there.
Oh yeah, the Georgia teams were awesome. They had a couple of AJGA champions on their team. It was nuts. I like playing with all the other players though. They were so nice. Good to good to meet new guys from other states.
Sure, and that's the neat thing. You do it. Some people you'll put them on I don't know, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't have those things, but I hear they're good for communicating with people. So probably some people you've got on there and you stay in contact with during the high school season.
I follow a couple on Instagram. I don't know. I haven't contacted them really though.
All right. Well, they may reach out to you.
Yeah. One of them commented on my Instagram post, so I don't know.
There you go. Oh, high school season, you guys started practice yesterday.
Yeah, we had our second qualifier yesterday. The third is tomorrow.
When was your first one? Before practice?
Yeah. The first one was like a week ago.
I may have to contact IHSA. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, I saw your scores from yesterday. Pretty good shooting.
Yep.
And you guys are going over to Indian Springs maybe tomorrow?
Yeah.
You going in the morning?
5:45. Bus leaves.
All right, because it's going to get really crappy tomorrow afternoon. So
yeah, we should be out of there by then.
All right, that's good. And you guys defending state champ, is there pressure? I mean, are you guys feeling pressure talking about it at all, or do you even talk about it at
all? We talk about it a little. There's definitely a little pressure, but I think if we just play our game, I think things will work out.
I mean, you're returning people all very, very instrumental. It's not like, oh, we got people back who weren't part of it. I mean, you guys were all very instrumental in, as counting scores either one day or both days. So, a lot of experience. And, Dakota had a great freshman year up there. So, it'll be interesting. Target on your back, just telling you, there's people going to be gunning for you. I don't know who they are, but I think there are.
Coach has definitely told us that, but
well, that's good. He's a smart man.
So let me interject one here. We heard all about last year how much the internal competition, how intense that could be. Just trying to get into the top six. You find that helpful though? When it comes time to start, playing against other schools, you've already been battling with each other. That sometimes that competition is just as tough as what you see on the course when you start seeing other schools. It feels like it'd give you kind of take a little bit of the pressure off, at least until you get to a certain point down the postseason trail.
Yeah, the competition in our team definitely helps us out. We have like constant qualifiers during the season. People are tied, and coach just tells us to play 9. Whoever wins goes. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You guys, you have depth, but you have quality depth, and that's one of the biggest things I think that helps. Now,
yeah, a good 5 and 6 can go a long way.
Oh yeah, because they're generally going to be counters. One of them 75% of your matches. They have to be there. All right, 3 of you. I know your mom and dad, so I know there's a little competition runs in the family. When you guys go out and play, how competitive does it get?
We don't get to play a whole lot, but
sugarcoat it, because I know when you play,
it gets competitive. I think we played on Father's Day, and Macy was like, what, 5 under through 5 or something stupid. And we were down. Me and my dad were on a team, and those two are on a team, and we were. I can't remember how much we were down, but we were not happy.
You guys were down like the whole time until the last hole, and then they beat us. So
I'm assuming your dad allows a roll the drum on the last hole, or is that even done anymore in golf?
We didn't roll the drums. I think we started coming back on like hole 16, and I made like birdie on 16 and 18 or something, and that's how we won by like 2, and we were down like 30.
All right, so wait a minute. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. What does roll the drums mean?
Roll the drums on hole 18, if you're down like, I don't know, whatever, it's basically double or nothing. So like if you're down like 10 stroke or 10 points or whatever, and you win the hole, you're tied. Or if you lose the hole, you lose 20.
Okay.
20 can be all kinds of different denominations.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. You want to make sure you know what denomination it is before you start. But yes, it can be fun. Now, Macy, you and Lane got them down early. No chirping, was there?
No, I don't normally. I just kind of keep
We
playing.
just play our
Lane,
game.
you were riding your coattails. Were you chirping?
No, we just play our game.
You're not going to chirp at your dad and your brother?
Maybe my dad. I don't know about my brother. I don't want to get my brother pissed.
I understand. Well, that's good. And that's one of the things, you know, when people play their game the level you guys play, it's because of the time. People don't realize how many balls you hit. Okay. You're out on the range. I remember when Luke was in high school. I don't know. I think you were trying to get a new 5-iron or a 4-iron or a driving iron from Tim, and I'm watching you out there just bang, 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 over and over. And I've seen Macy, I've seen Lane. I mean, I've seen the time you guys put in. It's just not, oh, I'm a 7-footer, I'm going to be good in basketball. You got to put in the time and effort all the time.
Yeah, we went on vacation, and my game after that was looking a little rough.
Okay, I understand that. Now, you guys you get started in the junior program at the country club?
Yeah, I'd say that's where we all kind of started picking it up seriously.
How old?
I was like in 8th grade when I first started playing seriously, but they started playing younger because like as the older brother, they all wanted to kind of be like me, I guess. But yeah, I don't know when they started taking it seriously, but mine was like 8th grade.
Okay. And then freshman year, you went to state as an individual, correct?
And sophomore year.
Or was it sophomore year? Okay,
sophomore year. Yeah.
I knew you went as an individual because I saw you.
Yeah.
Mace, how old when you finally started thinking, I kind of like playing this game, I'm going to work at it a little bit?
I remember going to tournaments like when I was in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, like summer tournaments in Bloomington and just prep tour things. But yeah, I went to state every year in junior high and it was really fun and I liked it. So then I don't know, I just kind of kept with it and ended up being kind of good.
Lane, how about you?
When I started taking it serious, I'd say about 7th grade. I didn't make the state, and it kind of motivated me to start working at it, get good. Kind of took off.
So, I mean, Luke's coming up, starting in 8th grade, but you're seeing St. Anthony's previous history. I mean, like when the Inversions were all those people who played and those teams that went to state and have won state and done such things. So, does that also draw you into it a little bit as well? Macy with the girls, Jacqueline Jansen, all those kids that played ahead of you.
I didn't really think of the people ahead of me too much. I kind of just started taking lessons and I liked it. So my dad always brought us out. So it was fun.
Okay. And Macy, I know this summer you gave back a little bit to the game of golf, didn't you?
Like, how so?
Did you help at a golf camp one day?
I did, yeah.
How was that experience?
It was fun. Yeah, I like teaching the little kids.
My daughter, Morgan thinks that's the greatest thing in the world, and she had more helpers this year. Coming back, you'd played in college and stuff, and she said you guys really, said the kids were just in awe, so that was cool. And Lane, did you hear? Joey helped one day. Did you hear how he screwed up?
Joey Tripiano? No, I didn't.
Yeah, Joey helped the first week until they were going to be gone, and he introduced himself. He said, "Hi, I'm Joey Tripiano. I'm from St. Anthony." He almost said he was from T-Town.
Really?
I think at the time he was thinking about transferring. I really do. Morgan, she texted me within 2 minutes of him doing that. She goes, "Oh my God, you're never going to believe what Joey just almost said." So,
That's
it
funny.
was good. Now, rumor has it your little sister's going to be better than all three of you. Is that true?
That's the rumor. We'll see.
I heard that at the wedding this week. That's why I had to ask you guys. Now, she won her age division club championship. Is she seventh grade, sixth grade?
Eighth.
She'll be in eighth.
She'll be in eighth grade. Okay. So this is about, Macy, you were playing in eighth grade. No. Is she going to be able to fill your shoes?
Yeah, I think she beat me my seventh grade year at state last year. That was her goal. So that's what she did.
So that's good that you're giving her goals to shoot for. See, you're an inspiration.
Yeah.
Cool.
She said she wants to come to Wesleyan already. So we'll see if that changes or stays the same.
There you go. Just, Luke, you're about done. What are you going to do when you're done with school?
So I had an internship with McCarthy this summer, so
okay,
that went really well, and we'll see where that takes me. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but that's the idea right now, is to work for them for the next few years.
So they made an offer to you?
We're going to talk about it tomorrow, actually, so we're going to see what they offer me.
We could be breaking news again, Whitey. SIU golfer signs with McCarthy.
It's a good company. It's I learned a lot there. I worked on a solar farm this summer. So
oh really? So engineering?
Yeah, I'm a mechanical engineering degree with a computer science minor. So
okay, all right. A lot of study time.
But you still got one more year left, though. You got some goals for that last year playing for the college team. Anything in particular? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, this year I'm not going to put as much of a focus on school, since that sounds like a job's about to be lined up. As long as I pass, I think I'll be good.
There you go.
I've been there before.
Yeah. I'm just I want to play as many tournaments as I can, because my first 4 years have always been on the bubble. So it's like, I'm sure it's kind of what Lane's been doing with high school golf. Not as much, since he's been one of the top players, but for me, since I'm on the bubble, it's pretty stressful trying to qualify for tournaments. Like last year, I had a pretty decent lead and to go to Chambers Bay, and I'm not sure how familiar with any of you guys are with Chambers Bay, but they played the 2015 U.S. Open there, and I was in a solo lead, big lead, and threw it away. It's really stressful sometimes.
But didn't you still go to Chambers Bay?
No.
I thought I saw your pictures with your dad out there.
No, that was Oregon.
Okay. All right. Same rainy weather. That's what threw me.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I heard it was really cold out there in Seattle, but so it is a gift and the curse that I didn't go. But it's really tough in college golf when one of your teammates gets the plane ticket and you don't. So
right.
Hopefully this year I'll get to make all the tournaments, but yeah, just got to be positive, I guess.
I dealt with that as a parent. Morgan missed postseason her second year. She hadn't missed a tournament the whole time she's been there. And then she just beat a girl on their home course in tryouts. She beat him every tournament she ever played her and couldn't beat her there. So, yeah, I understand. Macy, you got one more year of school, or are you do you have additional time?
I have 2 more years. I'll be a junior, but I don't get the COVID year. That was my senior year, 2020.
So, and your major, I know you told us last time, but I forgot.
Marketing.
Okay. So what's your plans? What do you want to do?
I have no idea yet. So hoping
you got to start thinking internships here probably next summer, don't you?
I'm going to start looking when I go back to school.
All right. Lane, I know your goals this year. One goal is to repeat as a state champ. What else you got?
For the high school season, go low, because this is my last year. I want to have a ton of fun and maybe get a few offers. So,
okay. Have you had any? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also, like to win state. That would be great. Joey gave us a lot. Anybody can do it. We all compete on the same kind of level, and Joey won it last year, so it should all give us confidence that we can do it, any one of us.
Because to show you how anyone can do it, because Joey had an 11 in the sectional on the home.
Yeah.
Okay. And wasn't a counter, and then turned around and goes to state and the state champ. So again, it's how you're doing that given weekend. Have you had any offers yet to go play at the next
one? I know Mike from Eastern Illinois would take me, but I went on a visit to Illinois Wesleyan, and that was awesome. They have like 4 launch monitors, a putting green, like all the courses in Bloomington you can go to, and he was really interested. So
okay,
right now that's the front runner.
Okay, just remember Eastern has Marty's. I mean, I think I had classes.
I don't know, Mike. I gotta tell you, I don't think Marty's, not to disparage the place. I've only ever been there to eat lunch with you, but I'm not sure it carries the same cultural relevance to the 2023 student that it does to the whatever
early 80s, the early 80s student.
A million years ago.
It was.
But I did want to ask, for the two of you that have been playing at the collegiate level, I mean, obviously the competition is a major step up. What about the preparation that's expected of you? What do they leave that mostly in your hands to do what you need to do, or is it pretty guided by your coaching staff as far as what they want you to work on and how they want you to go about it?
At least for us, it's like the practice stuff. There's like some structure to it, and then sometimes it's on like what you're. So like a lot of the players like have different things they need to work on. So for me, like my driver is something I always need to like kind of work on. So I'll like hit drivers, but other people it's like their putting's not good, so they'll be on the putting green, I'll be on the range. It kind of depends on what they're doing, and then it's like if coach sees like one like team thing that needs to get better, he'll be like, all right, we're all going to the putting green because you guys all aren't very good at 10 footers, so we're gonna go with some putts. But for the most part, it's kind of on your own for us.
Macy?
For us, it's usually like we have a lot of range time and then a lot of just like short game time. Like sometimes he'll guide us and say like hit this target, or we're doing drivers or wedges for however long. But then sometimes it's just like, okay, we're going to the range, do whatever you need to do. If you need help, ask us. When we do short game, it's usually we do it together, like make a bunch of 3-footers in a row, and until everyone does that, then we'll do something else, or we all have to do like 10 chip ins as a team, and then you can go home or something. So it just depends on the day.
So do you do any of those short game drills or anything where they make it competitive? It's you against your teammates doing, here's U5 and U5 and here's your target, most chip ins, or first one to 8 or, whatever.
Yep.
And Lane, I know in high school you guys work on a lot of things, but a lot of competitive stuff I know on the green. How about off the green? You guys just go out and play for points. I know how you are.
Oh, yeah, we compete a lot, like probably every day. Like after practice, we'll go out and play 9 before the sun sets, and I think most everybody stays after practice to get better. So,
well, and again, that's the culture you have as a freshman. You saw the seniors do that. Oh, they're staying. I'm going to stay and play. And now you're setting the culture for that next younger group. And again, that's the thing. I know a lot of people think, oh, all those St. Anthony golfers, they have it so easy. No, you don't. You guys, again, it goes back to the work you put in, and that's a case in point. When you guys are done with practice, you go out and play, 9 holes, or
yep.
play these 2, skip over here, play these 2, and you get a lot of work in. Okay, Whitey. You got any more questions before we wrap up? You're muted.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, is this, you said podcast number 78. I thought this was your first.
There's a couple of dogs in the room with me, and I keep myself muted because at any point they could just lose their minds.
Well, that's why my cat doesn't say anything. It just walks in front of the camera.
Yeah. Well, again, like going back to my last question about the differences between high school and college as far as the prep goes, I think another thing that I wanted Macy and Luke to touch on is just that I don't think people as a general rule understand the amount of time that a college athlete, and it doesn't really matter what sport it is, how much time that sport takes out of their, out of their day, out of their week, and what a grind that can be to balance that with the schoolwork, the other parts of just life in general. I think people think that you go to college and play a sport and it's all fun and games, and it's really not, right? I mean, it takes there's a lot of time management, a lot of life balance that you have to figure out on your own.
Yeah. I'm in a sorority too, so I've got the golf, sorority, and academic stuff, and the sorority even is still pretty demanding with time, especially coming back. But yeah, it's all a balance. I mean, you gotta make sure you're doing the golf and then looking forward on your schedule to see what you have upcoming for school to study for, to get done before the tournament that weekend. And then you're playing from August to middle October, taking a break, going back February, and then doing it all over again.
Yeah, it's definitely a grind. It's not the easiest thing, especially with my major and minor, and then also add golf on top of that. It's because especially if like we're qualifying or something, and even if like even especially even more at Gateway, since that's like a 30-minute drive. I mean, if you play golf, like say it's an 18-hole qualifier, that's 5 hours right there. Plus, I mean, call it an hour to get home. Like that's 6 hours of your day right there. Then you got to go home and or before try to get some homework done, and then also try to balance your personal life with like, I mean, I have a girlfriend, so I mean that takes some time too. It's like you got to put some time into that, and then I mean at some point there you got to eat dinner and lunch. It's like even like the little things like that, they like it's hard to do sometimes. So it yeah, balancing your personal life with golf and then school as well. It takes a toll on you after a while for sure.
And
See,
obviously,
Whitey, we broke another story. Luke's dating.
and obviously I don't want you guys, I'm not asking you to name names or be specific, of course, but I'm guessing having been at your respective schools for a while now, you probably see people come in who did not realize or weren't prepared for what that was going to be like. And that's as important sometimes as the actual skill level, right? Like just being able to make it work, the whole life that goes with it, right?
Yeah. Yep. I know on my team, like we've got future doctors, future nurses, business majors, English majors. I mean, it's everyone. But I mean, at my school, it's kind of you can practice however much you want, and then however much you put in is what you're going to get out of it. But I know like people with really difficult majors who are really good players. So it's really interesting to see because that takes a lot of study hours and time, classes, labs, everything.
Does that sound like fun, Lane?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
Not the
Yeah.
school part.
I mean, I've heard stories of writing papers on a laptop in the bus, or not the bus, on the van or whatever, short bus, whatever you're on. Weight training. You guys both do weight training with your programs?
Yeah, a little bit. It's not, we don't do it throughout the season, but in the off season, we definitely get after it. Yeah.
Okay.
We did my freshman year in the winter, but I weightlift pretty much all year round. So
So you do it on your own. You don't have a prescribed, hey, golf team's in the gym.
Yeah, I just
5:30 every morning. Okay.
She's better than me.
Lane or Luke, my wife actually went to Edwardsville, and so I spent her senior year there. I spent a lot of time, like every other weekend I drove down there, and I never could get used to how the campus is so spread out and how long it takes to get anywhere. Have you managed not to get a speeding ticket from the campus police the entire time you've been there?
I've been really lucky I haven't, but I have got a couple parking tickets.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's okay. I mean, every once in a while you just gotta
It's
every
kind of
once in a while you just
ridiculous.
gotta take a chance. That's what I found at Eastern anyway. But
If you park in the right spots and you'll get away with it quite a bit, but every
the
once in a while they'll get really, you know, deep down to detail and make sure you have the right pass.
my
Well,
every time I went down there, my wife, well, girlfriend at the time, wife now, she's always getting after me if I was driving too fast. She's like, "You're gonna get pulled over. They will get you." I don't know if that's changed since then. That was a long time ago because we're getting old. But
I see plenty of people getting pulled over, so
yeah,
it's hasn't changed.
yeah.
hey, Lane, I know Whitey loves this. I think, is that an IU glass I saw you had?
Yeah. I don't like
Oh,
I
show
don't
that to
like
Mr.
IU.
I
White.
saw it
He
already. I
loves.
wasn't gonna call any attention to it, but
Oh, he loves when I have Indiana cups and stuff out. Now, I do know that I saw pictures of you in Bloomington, Indiana, and you weren't wearing an Indiana shirt. And you went to a ball
Nope. I was
game.
rooting for Illinois.
Lane, and who won?
Uh, not
Huh?
Illinois.
Exactly. Uh-huh. You know, now you know how I know this, don't you?
No.
Really? My daughter was your waitress at Yogi's. She took your mom
Oh
took,
yeah.
or Wegmans
I
took
remember
pictures.
now.
Uh-huh.
I
And she
remember
told
now.
me, she said, yeah, and no IU swag, Dad. So that's all right.
well, I'm sure glad we got to talk about Indiana on this.
Oh,
I was
and
that's
that's the bar she kicked Trace Jackson Davis out because his friend wasn't old enough to be in there. So just
yeah.
booted him.
We'll have to devote another show sometime soon, Mike, to figuring out what conference all these schools are in because that's getting to be a little confusing. So,
Yeah, that's all right. All
uh,
right. Well,
lots of new
go ahead,
schools in
buddy.
the Ohio Valley. I mean, is it? I don't know. With basketball and football, I know it's always a big deal. With golf, does it matter as much? Or
The conference you're saying?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I mean, I
I
know
mean
you
we'll
talked about the one school.
yeah, I mean, yeah, Little Rock is kind of an exception. Those are first year last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, other than we don't really see a whole lot of because college golf's a lot different than any other sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not like you're playing, it's not like Illinois versus Wisconsin. It's not like it's like golf is like you're playing 17 other teams in the tournament.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like we play relative to our conference, we play a really good schedule. So we went out to Oregon, played Bandon Dunes this year. We played Chambers Bay. We played out at Arizona a couple times. Florida this year, but that was an OVC tournament. But we also SIUE our golf schedule is a pretty impressive for how small of a school we are relatively, I guess.
Last thing I have for the two collegiate golfers, and speaking from experience as a college student, when you wake up and it's like 45 degrees, windy, and spit and rain, some people may not go to class. You guys still got to go out and play, don't
Mhm.
Yeah, those are the days that you wish you didn't play college golf.
you? I know basketball players, they don't go out and play in that. Now,
No.
football does still practice in that, but people don't realize if it's a shitty day, you
Yeah.
guys still have to go out there and practice.
Yeah. It's not necessarily that it's bad to be out there. It's just it's so hard to hit a golf ball in like 8 layers.
And then hit it straight if it's windy.
Yeah, then hit it straight.
And
Yeah,
if you miss it with the wind, you're just screwed.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you get that spin in the wind and it goes to the other city.
Mhm.
How many tournaments you had to play when conditions are just horrible?
quite a bit.
Very often. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
spring. You get more in the spring probably than the fall, don't you?
Yeah, the
Well,
spring almost every tournament is worse.
Well, this year I feel like our fall was really bad. It poured on us. I mean, it wasn't like freezing cold, but it poured on us, I think, every weekend. We had 2 rounds where we played in the whole, like the rain the whole time. It never stopped. And then in the spring, one of the days we played 27, saved the next 9 for the next day, and it was sleeting. It was like 30 degrees. It was terrible.
Now, I did famously see Luke Ludwig putt in the snow once. Wasn't that
Yeah, you'll
state
find that
tournament?
picture on my Instagram.
Yeah, state tournament.
That's state
Um,
tournament. We won that year too.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, you got to go out, no matter what conditions are, and play. Now, obviously, if there's lightning, you're not playing, and if it's snowing, you can't putt because it becomes a snowman when the ball rolls. But high school golf, you get in some pretty raw conditions too. I mean, I know, Lane, you guys ran into some chilly weather at state. I mean, my kids played 8 holes in that, whatever that was yesterday morning. It was brutal because I kept telling them it was going to stop, and we finally quit, and it didn't stop for like 4 hours. So, but that's the thing. You got to you just put your nose down and go. All right, Whitey, you got any last questions?
I'm good.
All right, I bet it's about supper time for the Ludwigs.
Yeah, I was gonna say we shouldn't keep them too much longer anyway.
Jamie, you order pizza yet?
No, I've not.
Well, Luke can't be there, so you guys should have steak tonight on the grill if he's not going to be there.
Yeah, they normally do the fun stuff when I'm not there.
Yeah, I understand. Well, guys, I'll tell you what, I appreciate you being on. Have a great Luke. Have a great finish to your career, Macy. Keep going. I want to see you be medalist again. That was awesome. I know how hard that is to be medalist. That was great. Lane, best of luck. I'll see you Friday.
Yep.
Remember how I motivated you last year at this tournament?
I do. I won't forget.
You won't forget? Well, that's good because that was supposed to be motivation. I wasn't being an idiot. I mean, I knew that'd get you going. So, it was playful.
Did. Huh? It definitely got me going.
It did. You played well. Heck yes. All righty, Whitey.
We good to go? You and I want to talk a little bit. We want to let them.
Yeah, we'll wrap a couple things up. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Have a great season, and it's always fun when we get to talk golf.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. If you guys want to bail out on the call, feel free to. And we appreciate your time. Good luck with your seasons, and we'll talk to you again somewhere down the road.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for having us.
Guys.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, Mike.
No, last year
chat for a second. We haven't talked in a little bit, so
I know. Well, St. Anthony played in a tournament Thursday, and they'll play this Thursday up in Bloomington. And Lane really struggled. Yeah, he didn't have a very good day. We were playing Friday in the tournament. I said, "Hey, we may have a spot for you on our team, about number 5 or 6." And he went out and played great. So again, it was playful motivation, and it worked. He played well, so that's awesome. So yeah, a lot of things that happened since we last did our podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Big.
You got a winter promotion.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could look at it that way. Obviously, if you're watching this, then you probably have heard by now that Greg Sapp's going to take a step back from most of the sports stuff at the station. Premier Broadcasting, 97.9 and 102.3, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about. But, Greg and I are still going to do the football games on 97.9, the Effingham football. That's not going to change. He's going to do at least one more year of that. He asked me last year, he's like, what would you think about me doing one more year of football? And I said, do as many more years of football as you want. You've kind of earned the right, I think, to do as much football as you want without asking me if it's okay.
Right.
So, but then, Matt Robinson's going to be the friend of the show, Matt Robinson, probably our most frequent guest. He's going to be the sports director at the radio stations now, and that means he's going to be the lead play-by-play on basketball. And so, he asked if I'd be willing to step into the role that he used to fill there, which was to, do the color on a bulk of the broadcasts. And
Right.
And I said I would like to give that a try. We'll see how it goes, with, my daughter's in junior high this year. And
that's the thing, schedule wise, I'm sure that's going to, you may not do as many as Matt did just because schedules are a little different, but I mean, we'll see. I mean,
we're still working on her to play basketball though, Mike. I still haven't got her convinced that she wants to go out for the junior high basketball team. So,
was she seventh grade?
She's in sixth grade.
I made Zach play sixth grade. It wasn't affiliated with the school. It was on their own, but it was just to see if he liked it. And he didn't. He didn't play beyond it. And that was fine. I mean,
at Neoga, sixth graders can play on the junior high.
On seventh grade team? Okay.
Yeah, they can. She's in softball now, and they do there's so many kids out for softball that they just have a separate sixth grade team that they stay together. They've got enough kids that and I think that accomplishes a couple of things. It gets them on the field and practicing every day, and it gets them a few games, but it doesn't create any you keep them separated, and it keeps the seventh and eighth graders. There could be some hard feelings, or kids decide they don't want to play.
Well, it gives more kids a chance to play and see if they like it or not.
And
there's nothing wrong with that at all.
The sell job on that for us for the sixth graders was, hey, look, most schools you wouldn't even get to be on the school team in any capacity. So right. This is good for you. And having coached those girls in the summer and not coaching them now, letting somebody with a little more expertise take over, you're seeing a lot of growth in them when they're playing every day, having to go do things every day as opposed to twice a week. So yeah, absolutely good for them.
Oh, heck yes.
Anyway, we'll see if she decides she wants to play basketball. She says she's not a basketball player. I said, you don't know what you are. You're 11. And she got a chance to play for, Seth James and Kim Romack, the high school coaching staff. They're the junior high coaching staff too.
Oh, really?
And so I've really tried to preach to her that she should not squander the opportunity to play for two coaches of that caliber, and that even if she's not. And we talked about this I've had Lucy Fearday on her a little bit during softball lessons, and I've had other people on her. Like, you don't have to be a star at those sports. You don't even have to see the floor.
To enjoy it. No, it's part of it.
To benefit from the practices. And
now, if it's cutting into her oatmeal scotcheroo cookie time, then I support Mac.
She really she likes to do the baking. So, and there are only so many hours in the day, and she's going to be a cheerleader. And so, I don't know, we'll see, but we're kind of losing the plot. Yeah. I'm going to try to do the basketball, the number 2 job, would be the sidekick on that, but I'm sure we'll still need plenty of a healthy dose of Mike Wilson on the airwaves here and there.
Figure I moved up to number 11 on the list. So that's good.
And it's good for Greg. I'm glad that Greg's getting a chance. He's still going to be the news director. He's still going to probably sleep 3 hours a night, but the news is what he loves. And so I'm glad he's getting a chance to just devote himself to it. And
you have done some football play-by-play.
A little bit. He had me do a quarter a game last year because he just wants me to be ready when he.
Yeah, well, he was preparing you for soon, so that was good. And I heard you. Now, do you do your stats while you do play-by-play?
Yeah, and I'd like to have a chance sometime to not have to do that, but that's sort of just where we're at.
Yeah, but people can't do stats the way you do, Whitey. So Larry Wilson says you're the best.
You know what? I made it work, and for the most part, it wasn't there were a couple of teams that ran some hurry up stuff that got me in a little bit of a bind, but for the most part, it was not too bad. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. It's obviously a top notch operation as far as the sports go, to be involved with, to be associated with Greg and Matt. And of course, your dad, just by, not having worked with him that much, but just by his reputation with the station and his connection to getting it all going. It's a good situation to be in. And so I thought that if I had the opportunity to be involved in that big of a capacity, that I should not pass that up. I should at least give it a try and see how it works. So we'll see.
Oh, sure. And Greg's stepping down. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, and Greg's getting up there. You know, he's not a spring chicken anymore. And he told me what was going on before he made the announcement.
Yeah.
And Matt's going to do a great job. I mean,
sure.
When people talk, oh, how will Matt do? I said, well, I've heard him announce at least 4 games his son has played in, and they've lost 3 of them in heartbreaking fashion. And you didn't know that his son was on the field. It was his son. So Matt's going to step in and do a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he will feel pressure. It's only natural, but I think he will do a great job.
I go, you talk about that, and I go back to that Tuscola game. How many? I can't remember how many overtimes. 4 overtimes. And
we got home from Newton sectional when you were done.
And you never would have known. And he had to be dying inside when that game ended.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
And I don't know if I could handle it. I can barely. So far, I can barely keep the emotions in check when my daughter's pitching in a 6th grade softball game. So I don't really know how it would go if it were ever at that level. But
it doesn't get any easier.
Well, it helps when your son's as talented as Mason is. It's got to be, and plus, you always, I think, it was probably helpful to Matt in the back of his head that even though he wanted Altamont to win those games, that he knew at that point already knew that Mason had more games to, not basketball, but more games to play in his future, and so there was still something to look forward to, and that's nice. So
right now, I have to tell you a story.
Okay.
Last night, my wife and I are getting some groceries. We make 2 stops. We're at our 2nd stop. Gentleman comes around the corner, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "What?" He goes, "I have to work 40 hours a week now because I don't have podcasts to listen to." I said, "We're doing it tomorrow. We're coming back. Our hiatus is over. We're coming back. We're doing podcasts."
Well, if anybody has stuck with us to this point, I'm going to ask you to do us a favor. Get on your social media platform of choice, or yours. You can make that plural, your social media platforms of choice, and share this, put it out there a little bit, because I imagine, people have gotten out of that routine. They're not necessarily looking for it.
I know.
But we, I felt like during the basketball season last year, we had a nice little spike in viewership and
basketball lends itself to what we're doing. It really
is. We, and I have toyed with the idea that maybe we should just be a basketball podcast, but I like to, I know more about other stuff, I mean, I can have a much more intelligent conversation about baseball, quite honestly. So hopefully we can, just keep steadily improving those numbers. And we're a modest show, but I'm also hoping that I can maybe use my increased stature at the station, if you want to call that, to try and coax something onto the website, directing people toward this. I think we, as borderline representatives of the station, I think we do them proud. I think we don't embarrass them. So, I think we should, we're going to keep working on that. So
you need to incorporate a GIF of Jack Nicholson saying, "I'm back." We need to incorporate that in our show. I don't know how to do those things, so I'm relying
Nicholson, huh? Why not Michael Jordan? Just out of curiosity.
Jack Nicholson in The Shining, when he busts through the door and says, or was it, what did he say? "Honey, I'm home." I thought he said, "I'm back." I don't know.
He says,
it's been a long time since I watched The Shining.
Johnny in The Shining.
I thought he said something about "I'm back."
I'm thinking the Michael Jordan press release when he came back from trying to be a baseball player, and it was just 2 words. He just said, "I'm back."
That's pretty good.
I mean, not to compare myself to Michael Jordan, although I might be able to play baseball about as well.
let's not get carried away, buddy.
What would it, you got to make at least one bombastic statement per show, right? I mean, that's how sports media works anymore. You just say really off the wall shit.
Hot bites.
Yeah,
hey, when are we having Coach Hefner on? Did we do that the Sunday before the season started, wasn't it?
Well, it would first require me to reach out to Coach Hefner. So
understand, that's yours.
We'll have to.
You get like 3 guests a year, so work on that.
I will work on that. Yeah, it was, as I recall, it was the Sunday before the first game, so that's not that far down the road.
That's 2 weeks of practice. Yeah. We'll have some things because, like I said, golf starts this week. I don't know. We may be the first people to actually start.
Mm-hmm.
We have our third match. The first day of school. Our third tournament is actually the first day of school, so we get off to a pretty quick start.
Yeah, not wasting any time. So, all right. Well, I don't know. I guess that's probably enough catching up for.
Yeah, since they've canceled Major League Baseball, we don't have anything to talk about there.
Yeah, you know what? I got up to Wrigley on Sunday and watched the Braves play. So of course they lost. But you know, my son is 6 years old now, and he's turned into kind of a baseball head this year. We went to a game at Busch last year, and he didn't care. You know, he wanted to eat. He wanted to run around. He didn't want to sit still. It was kind of miserable. And then it was a crappy game, and Kenley Jansen blew a save in the 9th inning, and the Cardinals won, and I was sick to my stomach, and the whole experience just kind of stunk. And this year, I mean, a year later, pretty much to the day, and he's sitting there watching the entire game, understanding the situation, maybe better than some of the people sitting around us. And, you know, it's
sure.
But it's so gratifying to watch him really get into it and
that's cool.
and know what he's seeing and know the difference between like a fly ball that's going out and a fly ball that actually like is going to land 20
second baseman's going to backpedal and catch.
Yeah, right. And a lot of people who go to games also do not understand that either. Like, yeah, they can't tell that the guy's out on the front foot or they got jammed or it didn't sound very good, and they just see the ball in the air and they get excited. Maybe I'm just a stick in the mud. I don't know, but
that's all right. My daughter didn't know who Randy Johnson was. So.
Well, you know, that's pretty egregious, but I guess I can understand that not everybody is a lover of the game, you know.
Yeah, she goes, I'm training this girl at work, Dad. Her dad used to play baseball. I think his name was Howard Johnson.
Well,
she kept saying she said he was 6'10". I said, Howard Johnson wasn't that big. I said, Randy Johnson? Yeah, that's it, Randy Johnson.
You know, aside from the last name, pretty much completely different ball players. But
Google baseball and Bird. She goes, oh, I know who it is now.
All right. Well.
All right, Whitey, that's good. Maybe our shortest show ever. We kept that at an hour.
Yep, and we probably ought to try for that too. Quite honestly,
I agree.
I don't know. People might not want to hang in for much longer than that. So,
all right, that'll work. Text me when you get it posted.
I will,
and we'll get it out and about and
share it with your friends, people. That's your homework assignment for this week. Right.
You got to share and get it out there. We're back. We're off the injured reserve list, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, Mike, we'll talk to you here in a little while.
All right. See you, Whitey.
See ya.